There's a guy named Neil Jenny that somebody asked about what he wants his work to be. And he said, I want my work to have the morality of a Jew, the whimsy of a gay, and the backing of the mob. Being the person that's the conduit for the voice for these kids, it's a real, it just drives you. You can't sleep at night when you listen to some of these kids that are really abused by the people that should be parenting them don't parent, the people that should be caring, the caregivers don't care, and who's going to speak for them? And I think if you look at the book, you can wring your hands, but it will also be a call to action. I'm sitting there talking to a young woman who's 18. She's been in and out of the system since she was 11. When she was 6, she was raped by her aunt's boyfriend. She said she was raped. The step-uncle said to the aunt, if you tell anybody about this, I'm going to kill you, and he had a gun. Finally, they do go to the police. The male goes away for 5 years, and then the aunt and the mother say, well, he served his time, we can go on living normally. Meanwhile, the girl's been going in and out of detention centers, and she says, the only thing I know how to do is I sell my body. These girls are all sexually abused, and I'm not talking hyperbole. When I say all, I mean there's the 1 or 2 minor exceptions. They're all put in failed placements. The placements may be abusive. We don't have the right child protective services. We don't have enough support in terms of a social network for them. We don't have enough facilities outside of detention centers for them. So judges invariably are saying, well, this is a kid that's on the street. I have to protect her in a very patronizing way. The only place I have to protect her where she'll be safe is in a detention center. Most of these facilities are run by men that are in the correction system that may not have training with kids. Most of them are run by ex-military. They're not really prepared to deal with the needs of kids, and especially not prepared to deal with the needs of girls. How do you convince the community that putting resources into the kids in the detention center is money well spent? They may say, well, they're criminals. Why don't we put money into the kids that are not criminals? And I'm saying, great, that's a good idea. Then all of a sudden you're accused of being socialistic, of wanting to reapportion wealth. Yeah, I'm totally guilty about that. California used to be the #1 in the nation in terms of spending money on kids' education. And now we're below Mississippi. How long is that going to be sustainable? Something's going to give. The bill's going to come due. When I spoke to the director of the detention center in Santa Maria, the Santa Barbara Detention Center, I asked, why do you people all have probation stenciled on the back of their uniforms? Don't these kids know that they're in a detention center? And the response was, well, a while ago we were transporting somebody and they got a hold of a book of matches and they lit a fire in the van. And the driver flagged down somebody else. They went and got help. The police came and they put down our detention staff, our probation staff, as well as the kid, because they weren't wearing a uniform that said probation on it. And I said, well, why didn't they just call on their cell phone, call the police on their cell phone? And they said, well, that's before they had cell phones. Everybody's had a cell phone for at least the last 20 years. Institutions are often the collectors of bad habits. They're hoarders.